They were two giants. One, a living legend who defined fear in WWE. The other, a real-life monster from India who looked like he could crush anyone with one hand. But when The Undertaker and the Great Khali stepped into the same ring, something unexpected happened. It wasn't just a fight, it was chaos. Behind the scenes, things got real tension, real anger, and a rivalry WWE doesn't talk about anymore. This is the forgotten story of the Great Khali versus The Undertaker, the feud WWE tried to bury. In 2006, WWE was searching for something fresh. The Attitude Era was gone. Brock Lesnar had left. Big Show was taking a break. And then came the Great Khali, a towering 7'1" Indian giant with hands like frying pans and a face carved in stone. When Khali first appeared, he didn't speak, he didn't smile, he just destroyed. He stepped into SmackDown, and within minutes, he laid out The Undertaker. No one had ever done that before. Not Kane, not Lesnar, not even Stone Cold. Fans couldn't believe it. The Phenom flat on the mat while Khali stood tall. WWE had found their new monster. The Undertaker was known for mind games, lightning strikes, dark entrances, and that unbreakable aura. But for the first time, he looked human. Khali didn't play mind games, he just walked through him. Their feud began to build quickly. Every week, Khali and his manager, Daivari, mocked The Undertaker. They said the dead man's time was over, that a new era of dominance had arrived. And honestly, fans started to believe it. Khali didn't sell moves, he didn't react to punches. Even the commentator said it. How do you stop a man like that? Judgment Day 2006. It was finally time for The Undertaker to get revenge. But what happened that night shocked everyone. The Great Khali dominated. Every punch, every slam, it looked real. He chopped The Undertaker's chest like thunder, and every hit echoed across the arena. Within minutes, The Undertaker was down, and Khali pinned him clean. 1, 2, 3. The streak of fear had shifted. The Phenom was beaten, clean. Commentators called it one of the most shocking upsets in WWE history. The Undertaker had been crushed, not by a veteran, but by a newcomer who barely spoke a word. But behind the scenes, the story was different. Wrestlers whispered about how unsafe Khali was in the ring. His moves were powerful, but also unpredictable. Even The Undertaker, known for working with anyone, was said to be concerned. Some reports say after that first match, Taker asked for adjustments, smaller spots, safer bumps. Others claimed he respected Khali's strength, but knew WWE had pushed him too soon. Vince McMahon didn't care. He had found his next monster attraction, especially for WWE's growing fan base in India. So Khali kept getting booked stronger and stronger. The rematch came at Saturday night's main event, and this time, the story flipped. The Undertaker, back from the shadows, looked more dangerous than ever. No more mind games, no tricks, just war. Khali came to dominate again, but this time the dead man fought back with precision. Every move was stiff, every strike sharp. It wasn't just a match, it was a message. And when The Undertaker finally hit the tombstone piledriver on Khali, the crowd lost it. It was one of those rare moments when the impossible happened. The Great Khali was down, and The Undertaker stood tall once again. WWE had their story, the Phenom conquering the Giant. But something was off. The two were scheduled for a Punjabi prison match, the first of its kind. Fans were hyped to see these two monsters locked inside bamboo cages. But days before the show, Khali was pulled out. Officially, WWE said he wasn't medically cleared. But behind-the-scenes rumors told another story. Khali's mobility and timing were causing safety issues. The Undertaker was instead placed against Big Show in the match, and that's when people realized something. WWE might be slowly backing off from the Great Khali's push. After that, Khali's character began to change. He went from a monster to a comedy act, dancing on Raw, hosting Khali Kiss Cam, and smiling with the crowd. For The Undertaker, it was a sign that the era of their feud was truly over. WWE didn't want that danger anymore. They wanted laughs, not chaos. Behind the scenes, Khali's knees were giving out. Years of heavy lifting and bone disease had taken a toll. The man who once crushed legends could barely move without pain. By 2014, he quietly left WWE, returning home to India, where he opened his own wrestling school and started training new generations of talent. In interviews years later, The Undertaker never badmouthed Khali. He called him a good man with a big heart, but admitted that working with him was a challenge. And that's the truth. The Great Khali wasn't the most technical wrestler, but he was real, intimidating, unstoppable, and unforgettable. Sometimes WWE tries to erase moments that didn't go perfectly, but for the fans who saw Khali flatten The Undertaker in 2006, it was a reminder of one thing: even legends can fall. The Undertaker versus Khali wasn't just a feud. It was a clash of eras. One represented decades of storytelling, the other raw power and market expansion. It was the old world versus the new, and for a brief time, it looked like the new world might win. But once the hype faded, WWE quietly shelved their history together. No highlight reels, no documentaries, just silence. But fans never forgot that image. Khali standing over The Undertaker, hand raised, the dead man, lifeless at his feet. But imagine this. What if the Great Khali never turned into a comedy act? What if WWE kept him as a silent, unbeatable giant? He could have faced John Cena for the WWE title again. He could have fought Brock Lesnar in a true clash of beasts. He might have even stood side by side with The Undertaker one day as an unstoppable tag team of darkness and destruction. Fans would have remembered him not for the dancing, but for the dominance he once brought. Not for the jokes, but for the fear he once brought to every locker room. In that alternate reality, the Great Khali wouldn't just be a legend from India. He'd be one of WWE's most dangerous icons, the man who once broke The Undertaker and never stopped. Every era in WWE has its monsters, but few ever leave a mark like the Great Khali did. He might not have been perfect, but for one unforgettable moment, he made the dead man look mortal. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another story from WWE history.